Good morning. Today's date, April 13, 2020. I think I want to figure out on my little guy here, how long have I been in quarantine? Checking on my phone. Um, Damn, gotta say, I started on the 15th. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is my fourth week. I am on day 31. Really? Yeah, day 31. Um, Yee, it's been a long time. Uh, had some upset yesterday. Two of my children in their teens decided to take a walk out the door with their skateboards in the middle of the night while I was sleeping without any, yes, that's okay. Left the doors unlocked and traipsed through the neighborhood to meet their friends. And when they got there, they hung out and swapped skateboards or whatever. Ended up getting caught by me seeing a video the next morning of them, partying it up. And I've had to quarantine them. And I know this sounds really extreme, but my children's friends, their parents do not even believe that this is really an issue, that there is a disease, that there is a virus. And I would rather just make sure that we're safe rather than sorry. I see possibility of my kids learning a great lesson right here, and it's these, honestly, these two I have not been able to give full 100% attention to, so this is going to give me a chance to give them 100% attention when I'm there. This is going to teach them how to fall upon themselves for information, for advice, for suggestions. This is going to teach them how to learn how to cope. I just spilled some water here. I'm trying to get my paintbrushes ready because I haven't painted for a few days. Especially yesterday, felt really, really sad and shitty. I was looking forward to a spring filled with us all going on skateboard rides. I got myself a new, I don't want to advertise, but I do because I really love it. It's a longboard from Magneto, and it's sweet. It's 46 inches long, so it's more than half my height. I'm only 62 inches tall. I don't know how many meters. That's like 3 meters. No, that'd be 9 feet. Okay, I'm a meter and a half tall. So, anyhow, uh, super excited about the skateboards, and I got new longboard wheels for one of the teenagers, and her board flies like butter down the street. We found a great spot where we can all skateboard, where the street is flat and smooth, and we don't have to worry about people screaming about social distancing on a path, because I guess there's like hawks that are watching and pointing and screaming and taking pictures and freaking out, even though they're not asking questions. So they're making life quite difficult. You can't be out in the street. You can't be out having fun. You gotta stay in your house. No, I don't, motherfucker. I do not have to stay in my house. I am not sick, and I am not touching anyone. I am out in the outdoors enjoying myself. My children are not harming anyone. My children are not touching anyone. They are not leaving any specimens of DNA behind, for they are skating. And if they are leaving specimens of DNA, I'm sorry, I am a little preoccupied. I'm trying to get some paint out of this. I am getting ready to put some finishing touches on my little book. I didn't realize it, but I was paging through my little book here, and I realized that it has a story in here. And I gotta put it in order, of course, but if you wanna... Here, this is one of them. Oh, it's gonna be backward. Okay, so my mother's in her chair. She says, "To Lexus," because she called me that. And I said, "Call me Al." I was about 11, and I was done with being a girl. All the girls in school, I didn't want to be anything like them. Each school that I went to, there was a certain type of girl, and it seemed like they were all like that. Anybody watch soap operas? Yeah, those girls in school, just like them. Just like the bitches that want to steal your husband, steal your man. Yeah, I did not even want to have anything to do with girls. Girls were backbiters. So I had only a couple of friends, and usually those friendships would last as long as the girl didn't backbite me, stab me, lie about me, tell the teachers that I did something with their things, whatever. Because usually as the new kid in the school, you're the one that everybody pins the shit on. So, yeah, the teacher wouldn't believe that they're normal students that have been there every year. The new student must be the one. They must have done it. So, yeah, I dealt with identity crisis at a young age. I was about 9 or 10. My daughters have also gone through this. The two that are being quarantined. I hate that. I hate that I had to do that. Good morning, whoever you are. So, it seemed like a lot of the time when I was a kid, I had to wear a lot of hand-me-downs. And I don't think that's a really bad thing. I'm sorry, I could show you that I'm painting here. I don't think that's really a bad thing, but I also think that it was something that made life really hard for me because I was wearing like my brother's clothes. So, yeah, I at one point was just like, fuck it. Everybody thinks that, you know, I'm the weirdo. I got this older brother that likes to wear really, really nerdy shit, and I gotta wear it after he's done with it. I can't win. I just can't win. So I just became friends with whoever was the nerdiest, probably. The lamest, the ones nobody wanted to be friends with. And I found out that a lot of those people were people that I wanted to be friends with. And so I made friends with guys and girls, didn't matter if they were boy or girl to me. I did feel, I should say though, that I was afraid of females because in general they were competing, and that was it. They were fighting for the honor of the men in the classroom, which never was men, they were all boys, and I never gave a shit. I never really gave a shit. I mean, I fell into the idea, yeah, I don't shave my armpits. I don't believe that that's important. If you needed to comment or think about it, it's true. I don't give a shit. But that's taken me a while. Like, this has been 2 years now. Before that, I always had to have my armpits shaved. I always had to have my legs pristine because I didn't want to be judged by my fellow female peers and my husband, because oddly enough, even though he had very gay tendencies, he liked to make fun of feminine legs having hair on them, looking male. Kind of strange, but, you know, can't understand everything. I'm excited about the skateboards. I'm really sad that I'm not going to be able to share that with my daughters. Really, really sad. In fact, that took me probably all day to just soak in and adapt to. I did some videos with my little one on Instagram. If you follow me on Instagram, it's Who Says 8 is Enough? All one word. 8 is a number. No question mark at the end. I made that. I don't even know. I don't even know when I started my Instagram account, but I got locked out of it 7 years ago, right before the divorce. And I wasn't able to get back into it until just recently, so I'm super stoked that I get to use Instagram again because I like the filters on it, and I like the following that, you know, there's just a lot of people that I can follow and a lot of really cool artwork on there that people share. I want to put more of my artwork on here that's in my book into it. And I'm just putting a little flesh color. I'm light, my flesh color. I don't want to also forget to talk about state of mind. Excuse me. Good morning. I'm burping. State of mind during this time is pretty shitty. We get on and off joy, and then when you come off the joy, you shoot back into this, what was I so happy about? I'm supposed to be mourning kind of mindset. And that's almost like self-punishment. So try to recognize when you're doing that stuff, if you are. I know I do. Also, you know, I keep remembering Christianity stuff, and I'm not going to say that the knowledge that comes from the Bible, all of it is bullshit, because I feel like when I was taking a paintbrush, and actually I would I would take, my hair was down to my bottom, Christianity, my hair was down to my butt, so I would take my ponytail, or I would braid all my hair, and I would take that ponytail, and I would brush my kids and say, I'm painting God's house, I'm painting God's house, you know, wake them up in the morning, painting God's house. And I didn't really, I mean, I was thinking of God, this great big man guy, because, you know, the Bible describes him as basically a man, you know, and the formation in your mind of what you think that the God of the Bible looks like is most likely a dude, maybe? I don't know. But, oh, time to wake up the kids soon. I was pinning all of these beautiful attributes on this male figure with male personality and with human traits like jealousy, anger, self-righteousness, fury and rage, murder. You know, these are all human qualities. A God would supersede those things, honestly, in my view. I would think that a God wouldn't even bother with this shit. He would just be like, jealousy? What do I care? You know, jealousy means that you have an ego. Why would God be pure ego? I don't know. It just doesn't sound like it was right. What am I trying to get at here? Placing all these personality traits on a human like God and telling my kids I'm painting God's house, I really didn't, I was still saying the truth, and that makes me giggle when I think about it, because, you know, this is a God's house, and last night I decided to paint my little Europe's face with her paintbrush, and I said, I'm painting God's house. And I said, I'm painting a God's house. You are a little God. And then she just squealed and curled up in a ball up in my arms and hugged me and told me she loved me. And, you know, we really are amazing. These bodies, they adapt, they learn, they figure out stuff. They see how we need, and they send signals to us. And if we don't hear those signals, they'll send out louder signals. And if we still don't hear those, they'll send us to the hospital. You know, like, this body is an amazing thing, and for us to fight it and try to tame it and try to teach it what we want it to do instead of giving it what it wants, it'll be a constant battle. Constant. We will never rein it in. My mother, all of my entire life, she battled her weight. I remember when I was a kid and we came into America from Canada, I've seen pictures. My mom wasn't fat. My mom was healthy looking. In fact, there were some pictures where she looked really skinny and not healthy looking. And she was always dieting. Always. And it seemed like the more she dieted, the fatter she got. So it's like she was furious with her body for not being what she wanted it to be and ashamed of it, and it just couldn't stop being what she kept thinking about. And when I was a teenager, I watched all that, and I think she even said to me, don't diet, just don't. Just eat 2,000 calories a day. That's all you need, you know. Exercise if you can. And that's what I've done, and I never had to deal with getting super overweight. And that's pretty awesome to be able to say, to be honest. I'm 47 and I've never had a super bad overeating, you know, issue with life. And I recognize that, you know, my mom, her comfort foods were garbage. They were Cheetos. They were potato chips and Cheetos and cheese balls. And those are just not healthy choices. And I would come in from school and she'd be sitting there on the couch shoving Cheetos in her mouth while my stepdad was still at work. And, you know, Cheetos are gone. Find something else. Too bad for you. Trying to think of anything else. So yeah, this quarantine my 15 and 13-year-old. You may call me the worst mother ever, but these two girls are going to be in their own room together in one tiny little bedroom. And I'm talking tiny. This is 8 by 8 maybe. No closet. It's not really a bedroom. It's more of an office. And I don't really feel like I should let them out right now, because if I do, you know, if I do, my health is in danger. So I told them, I said, well, we can just do like what the school or what the doctors are doing, and we're gonna have to put you in your, you know, in there. It's gonna have to be like this. We can't take chances. We have to treat you like you are infected for 2 weeks. And when you're not, then we can let you out. I feel like a monster doing this to them, but it seems like the only thing that I can really do other than let them out. And then there's the whole possibility of them getting someone sick. So, call me a horrible mom, but I'm going to go ahead and give their doctor a call and see what she's advising, and then go from there. But I do think the more I think about it, you know, the past 2 weeks I've been battling with these two to join in this quarantine and help it make it better. The 13-year-old was willing, but the 15-year-old was watching Netflix 20 hours a day, 15 hours a day. When we got together, I felt really sad because I'd be like, hey, let's watch this movie. She'd say, no, I already saw that. No, I already saw that. No, I already watched that one. No, I already watched that one. I mean, she has watched everything on Netflix, evading us. And even that right there, that just really upsets me because, I'm 47 and I think I've watched I worked at a video store, for God's sake. I watched, if I look at a list, there's some lists out there that are like, if you've watched over 300 and some of these movies, you don't have a life. Like I watched maybe 112 movies out of the 350 some that they listed, and that was all the most famous ones. I've still watched like Clockwork Orange and The Party with Peter Sellers and other stuff that they didn't even have on the list. But I don't want to lose her to life. I don't want her to lose to life. I don't want her to lose out on living. If all she's doing is watching movies in her room, how is that living? How is that a teenage life you want to remember? And I feel really bad about that because, she's been pretty miserable since, well, 2018. I pulled her from school because of a situation where she was really depressed, and I wanted to help her, so I pulled her from school. The school she was in was awful. I wanted to try to pull our relationship in and help us to become closer, and got her into a whole bunch of therapy, and we've worked together here, but she's still really a sad person. Not sad, but really doesn't have a direction. Doesn't, and that's okay to not have a direction. I keep telling her that's okay, but she doesn't feel that that's exactly okay because her friends and people in the world know what they want to do, but she doesn't, and she's kind of upset maybe I don't even know. Maybe I need to talk to her some more. Yeah, I think I should just talk to her some more. Because that's really not everybody's business anyways. And I love her and I want to have a good relationship with her. And if my mom was online talking about me, I'd probably be pretty hurt. So I won't do that. I want to apologize for that. Yeah, getting this painting down. It's getting a little more fun. It's fun. I have a lot of fun doing my paperwork here, my job. This next one's going to be really difficult for me. It is, as I was growing up, I do realize now that I was often the prey with predator. My stepfather was the predator, and he proved that at the grocery store about a month and a half ago, when I ended up having to get a restraining order against him, a harassment order against him. But this was a lot of my childhood, this, blocking the way, coming at me. And so I'm trying to put a little bit of that in there in my book to let it know that, childhood trauma, unhealthy parental role models, these are things that will prime a vagus nerve to be running on survival mode all the time. And if you remember what I said about the vagus nerve, it is an amazing tangle of nerves like a web that stretches from the amygdala, which is behind your nose, back there in your face, back to the back of your brain, the amygdala teenagers, my teenagers, and all teenagers often run on their amygdalas. They're impulsive, they take risks, they don't think things through. It's the survival response. And our vagus nerve is enmeshed throughout from there down to the tailbone. It's it's our response system. It sends it sends impulses up to the brain. We're in danger. Respond. It sends impulses up to the brain. You know, we need to readjust situation, change what we're doing. Danger. It's danger, it's joy, it's happy, it's fear, it's wonder, it's enmeshed in us. And as soon as you start to feel fear, the fight or flight instinct will kick on. As soon as you feel yourself angry, the fight or flight instinct is kicked on. You go into the trauma brain if you've been through a lot of trauma growing up, which I kind of think a lot of Americans will agree that they've been through a lot of trauma in their lives. This American dream thing, the rest of the world thinks we're living a dream. It's not a dream. It's all a joke. We are slaves for the man, and we are not doing anything differently than when we ran away from Europe, demanding that we did no more taxes. I mean, we're still paying taxes. Still paying taxes. Although now things may change. I'm hopeful. Not trying to ignore you. I'm working while I do my job. Or I'm working while we talk. And I would like to be more open about the way that I parent. I want my kids to know that, well, that I love them and that they are more precious to me than, damn it, anything I could buy. And I want them to know that they're special to me. And I want them to be happy at home. So, you know, my idea was to get everybody skateboards, skates, shoes, whatever they needed for this. And then we would go on a family outing and we would skate. And maybe we would take our skateboards on the bus and we would go to a place and skate. But, you know, I think doing that is a little risky. I don't know, going on the bus. But then I gotta wait to get my van's freaking brakes fixed because I've got squishy brakes now. Okay, so we're moving into my stepdad. Getting some color in there. If you want to know what he's saying, Brat, I'm gonna beat your butt. You're not going anywhere. Come on. Do you want me to finish one or yeah, I don't know. I could finish this painting. I just need to think of some things to talk about while I do it. And I don't want it to be gossip stuff. I want it to be, you know, conversation. I was trying to recognize the symptoms of grief in myself this weekend, especially yesterday, during this horrible realization that I have got to put my foot down and tell these girls to put their asses in the bedroom and don't come out. It was really difficult, and I will say that the 13-year-old thought for sure that she was in trouble, and I had to stand outside the door and just cry with them and be like, look, this is not you're in trouble. This is consequences. This is actually what happens when you put others in danger. You end up being put in a place where you have to fix yourself. Fix your mistake. And they don't like that. And I don't like it either, but it's the way it's got to be. And so they were like, how can you do this to us? How can you make us expect us to do this? How can you be so mean? And it was like, I'm mean? Okay, listen. I'm actually doing what's best for everyone here, and you weren't. And it's my responsibility to make sure that everybody has a mom who's healthy, and it's my responsibility to take care of all of you guys. And I feel like I let everybody down. I feel like I didn't do enough to try to get you to come with. I feel like I wasn't a good mother. You didn't feel like you could come to me. All these awful guilt things, and they feel awful, and they keep saying, stop feeling bad, it's not your fault, we're the bad kid, we're the ones that snuck out, and so there was this point though where they were like, how could you ever know? There's never been anything like this before, and ever, how could you ever know what it's like to be trapped in a bedroom for 14 days? And I said, well, I lived on a dead-end street, and I honestly only had maybe one friend who I could call on the phone, and that was my friend Amy, and sometimes her little sister, but usually she was just a little tiny thing. And when she grew up, then we became closer friends. But yeah, Amy and I would talk on the phone, and I would not be able to go out. I couldn't ride my bike anywhere. All we had were woods nearby. And I wasn't allowed to go out in those by myself. I would sneak off on my bike now and then when I got caught, I'd be grounded again. And oftentimes there were times where we were a working family, and my family did artwork, so they had to work in their shop, and I had to babysit the little boys all summer long. And then the next summer, I got grounded all summer long. And then the summer after that, I got grounded all summer long, because my mother thought that grounding you all summer long would keep you from doing whatever. Obviously, I don't even remember what it was that I did, so I guess I didn't learn that lesson. That sucks. My stepdad is covered in freckles, so this is how it's getting. Not a very happy painting, I know, but very realistic and true to my childhood experience. Kind of a weird thing, having to realize, that you were raised by Trailer Park Boys. I'm sorry, that sounds awful, but you've watched Trailer Park Boys, maybe? And I know for a fact that this person likes to watch shows like Red Green, so that they can laugh at the idiocy, and make fun of how stupid those people are, when in all reality this person is just like them and is just making themselves think that they're better than others. And I had a really hard time with my stepdad. He was pretty rough. Really judgmental person. Unforgiving, holding grudges for like ever. They never end. I dealt with a lot of disgust from him, so this was what I got a lot. Brat. And now it's slut. So I don't know how anybody can hate a child like this man did. How do you hate a child like that? How do you hate a 9-year-old girl? And let me just state for the record, anyone in a relationship where they have to tell their 9 or 10-year-old daughter that they can't wear spaghetti strap tops, shorts, bathing suits, if that's going on, I think you better leave that man, because you are feeling that you need to compete with your daughter, or you are worried that your man is going to run away with your daughter. That's not a good relationship. Get the hell out of that relationship ASAP. I was not allowed to wear shorts, skirts, spaghetti straps, not short skirts, not short shorts. The shorts had to be way past my kneecap. Couldn't show the knees. Knees might make somebody horny. I don't know. I don't know why, but that was the rules. And I had to follow them. My brother got to wear no shirt, t-shirt, tank top, no shirt, shorts. Stepdad got to wear no shirt, t-shirt, no shirt, pants, tank tops all the time, showing all of his armpits and hairiness, boils and all. So I had a really twisted sense of equality. It seemed like males were always allowed and girls were not at all allowed. And we were expected to be a different way than males. And it's part of the American dream, ladies and gentlemen, part of the American dream. I do want to say that my stepdad had really scary blue eyes. So I gotta make sure. Can you see that? It's not very bright blue though, is it? Eh. Oh well. Kinda don't know that he'd be seen. Nah, he would be seen in any color shirt as long as it's free. He'd even put duct tape on it, just if it had a rip. Put duct tape on his roof. I don't understand that. Gotta fix it. And put some duct tape on it. Yeah, I grew up with some really messed up parents, and they were hurting. Obviously hurting a lot, and hadn't gotten over the pain of their childhoods, and jumped into parenting far too soon. Long before they had understood why they were experiencing the shit they were experiencing. And the same thing for me. I went into having children right away. Within the first year, my ex-husband and I were having our first child. And within the first 9 months, honestly, I found out I was pregnant 2 weeks after our marriage, which, by the way, I got married 2 weeks after knowing my ex-husband. And that lasted 22 years. Fault me for being loyal. I just kind of am. And I can endure a whole frickin' lot, because as a kid, I was forced to endure a lot. I thought this was normal for everyone. In the church, all my friends' parents, except for one, well, 3, they were sisters. Their dad didn't chase them through the house and scream at them and throw shit at them and, attack them. And didn't attack their sisters or brothers either. This is the one that I wanted to start the book with. Okay, so I want to get back onto Safe and Social. Safe and Social, these kids are having a good old time. Sorry about the paint on my fingers. Safe and Social. So, like, this makes me think of the monkey bars, or the, I don't know, activity bars that we used to go to in playgrounds, But, yeah, we are on the Safe and Social rung. These kids are having a good time. They're learning. They're understanding. We go down into fight or flight. This one's fighting, punching, kicking, karate chop, kick right at you. This one's running away. Yikes. And then shut down. Going to sleep. sitting in a corner in the dark. So if we can do this for our kids, we can also do this for ourselves, and we can also do this for society. So I want to share this stuff with the world because I feel like this stuff is important. This can help a lot of us. This could help police. Dude, if you have someone who's in fight or flight, let's calm them down. First and foremost, let's calm them down. You're never going to get anywhere with someone in fight and flight. You get them up into safe and social and they can talk to you. They can tell you what their problems are. They can explain what's going on in their lives. You stay down in fight or flight, you get what you get. You get someone down in the shutdown, you're not getting diddly out of them, okay? And yeah, sometimes you're going to really have to not get your answer immediately. When they're this way, when your kids are in shutdown, you can't force them to do anything. You force a hug on them, it's like you're shitting on their head. Don't do it. Don't force anything on someone in shutdown. Give them some time. Tell them you love them. Make them food. Prepare a beautiful whatever. Give them a treat. Give them a movie. Do something wonderful for them. Hiya! Fight or flight. Definitely don't fight back. They're going to say shit that's personal. This is to me right now. I need to watch this over and over again. They're going to say stuff that's personal. They're going to try to get you to interact with them. They want to fight. They want to flight. It's one or the other. And some people say that there's another, and that is rescue, which we're not going to put into that because I believe that rescue is a totally different mindset, and you don't really find that in schools. I think that's something that comes a little later on when the prefrontal cortex is fully formed. And then when you get them up into safe and social, they might not be laughing and having the time of their lives, but they're serene, they're able to listen, they're responsive, they're open. These two, that vagus nerve is in fight or flight or shutdown. It's busy. It's busy surviving. And so we're in the survival brain right now. We're in a trauma brain. Most of us in America have trauma brains, and we're in fight or flight. Just take a walk somewhere. You're going to get accosted by somebody, and it's going to be feeling like a personal attack, and you're going to want to fight back. You're in fight and flight. I need to get back into safe and social. What's my safe and social place? For me, I should probably draw it. It's my toes in the sand, the white sand, Clearwater Beach, Florida. The ocean is lapping against the shore. I'm only a few feet away from the ocean. I can smell the suntan oil I'm wearing. It smells like a clean, kind of like sandalwood and alcohol and coconut oil put together. I don't know how to describe it any better way. Then the sun, the warm sun on my body, filling me up. And I'm back in my safe and social now. If I can do that in the middle of a fight with one of my kids, just say, excuse me, I find myself dropping down into fight or flight. I'll be back in a few minutes when I'm calm. Dude, if I can do that, I'm going to turn into the best parent freaking ever. And they're already telling me I'm doing a good job, so I can only improve. I have already done all the broken shit. Now I can only do good. So I'm going to paint some more today, but I got to go wake some people up. It's a new day, Monday, Easter Monday, something like that. We have a whole bunch of goodies that we made yesterday. We've got some chocolate hearts, chocolate dog bones, white chocolate dog bones. We have mint melt away flavored white chocolate. Oh, excuse me. And candied orange peels. We are going to make yogurt, and we've got sprouts and chopped up mushrooms for tonight. We're gonna have what is it? Chinese fried rice with tofu, mushrooms, eggs, sprouts that we did ourselves at home, and probably go for a skate. So I'll be posting my videos on Instagram, my skating and maybe our treats. If you'd like to check it out, like I said, it's Who Says 8 is Enough. Who Says 8, the number 8 is enough, and no question mark. 8 is a number, by the way. And I'll put that on the screen. That's my Instagram account, and of course you can check me out on Facebook. It's the Dolly, or Your Dolly Mama, DALAIMOMMA at Facebook. And then I have my webpage. I'm sorry, I'm running out of words here. I've got my website. It is the hyphen Dolly, DALAI hyphen mama.com. I also want to say stay safe and social.